Good morning. My name's Andrea. I'm a life coach for healthcare professionals, so nurses and doctors and NPs and CRNAs and NAs, all of you, respiratory therapists, welcome. This is 5 minutes a day. I know that your life is busy, and I also know that we are all working on being the best version of ourselves. We want to live adventure. We want to make every moment count. And sometimes working in healthcare can feel like that's an uphill battle, and I will help you with that in 5 minutes. What I'd like to talk about today is something that I have a relationship with: self-judgment. Now, we are used to a postmortem, we are used to fact-finding, we're used to debriefs, and all of those things are an evaluation of sorts. And what I'd like to offer today is that self-evaluation has a thought process and a feeling in our body, and it's a cyclic process that we keep in our mind that doesn't end, doesn't have a starting point or action to take. It just is a loop in our mind that comes up when, I wonder if these have come up for you, when you're thinking, I shouldn't have been annoyed. I'm a caregiver. I should always know what to do. I shouldn't be happy right now. I shouldn't be sad right now. This should have worked differently. I didn't show up how I wanted. All of those things are thoughts that are judging ourselves. And it seems like evaluation. So what I'm asking you to do is to take 5 minutes a day and just notice, what is my evaluation? What went well today or with a thing? What didn't work and what will I do differently? That's 5 minutes a day of doing that. That's a starting point and an ending point with an evaluation, because you'll come up with one thing you will do differently. And then the extra thought processes are self-judgment. And that can feel really heavy in the body and heavy in the mind. There's nothing to do with that, but to start to notice it. And then one action that we like to take, and how do I know this? Because I go through it all the time and I feel like I'm really good. One of my superpowers is not judging myself. Then we think, okay, I should go back and apologize for my behavior. Well, what that entails is that we think we harmed someone. And healthcare professionals never want to harm. It's actually in our moral code not to harm. But most people, when we are running through a self-judgment loop, we didn't harm. They didn't even notice. And so that apology is for ourselves. So can we give that to ourselves, stop the thought processes with our evaluation, and then let go of that, so that our next interaction with that person actually aligns with our values and purpose? So this is self-judgment and how I want you to think about it for 5 minutes a day. Let me tell you a story about this. As I did my work yesterday, I'm very intense. I bring in intense energy, and I try to let my intense energy come as a way to help people do amazing things. But sometimes it doesn't always come off that way. Sometimes my intensity goes to a convincing energy. And so I had a situation yesterday where I got into a little bit of convincing, intense energy. And I didn't move myself out of the situation. And as I was going through my self-judgment loop, I had to say a lot of words to myself. And I'm like, oh, this is self-judgment. It's not evaluation. And once I evaluated, I knew what I would do. I would ask different questions. I would flow zone people, put them in their best places to be their best person. And I could be their teammate and lift them up. And that didn't come until I spent 5 minutes saying, okay, stop complaining and figure this out. And then I was able to say, okay, I know what I'm going to do. So this even happened to me. And I'm a life coach. I'm a product of my product, always moving and grooving. So I work as an ICU nurse and a life coach, and I love the work. And so if you are doing this work, which if you're a healthcare professional, you're stopping by today, here's my ask: keep doing your great work. 5 minutes of, how am I judging myself? Can I let that go? And here's the 5-minute technique to do that. So I'm going to leave you with a quote. A concept by itself doesn't cure anything. The concept might be comforting, illuminating, satisfying, but sooner or later, the cure always has to come through action. It has to come through the body. So what I'm saying is that when you hear this, when I'm like, okay, you don't have to judge yourself for being annoyed. We are just human. You don't have to judge yourself for not showing up exactly how you wanted. You don't have to go apologize. You can use evaluation process. That's going to hit you like, oh, I'm human. It's going to feel so good. You will have to eventually take the action of doing. Is this self-judgment or is this evaluation? So go be amazing. And I will see you for 5 minutes a day tomorrow.